So you're the one they wish they never tested. The reason why is because you told them the truth. Yeah. So that's why. You told them the truth. Confirmation. As soon as I said truth a second time, and beep, while I was saying truth, oh, you gave them a good truth, huh? That was a powerful truth that you spoke. Oh no, they didn't like that. How dare you go and tell them the truth like that? That's how they felt. How dare you tell me the truth about myself when I don't want to learn and when I don't want to grow? Right? That's how they felt. But you said it because you felt like it was the right thing to do, especially under the circumstances. I feel like there are times where you don't care enough to even extend certain conversations. But with this person, it's like they met their match. Like this person met their match. And I feel like this energy I'm picking up on, you have a very chill personality. You are very laid back. You're chill. Like, you cool. But you know what? Certain people don't realize that you can turn up when it's time. Certain people, they just don't realize it. They don't realize. And then when they realize, they feel like they need to realign. But then they can't because they're not too sure where they fit anymore at that point. So I heard it was how they tested you. It was how they tested. Wait, hold on. It was how they tested you. I heard they felt like they wanted to be sure of who they perceived you to be. They felt like they wanted to be sure of who they perceived you to be. It just feels like they wanted to prove that there's something not right with you. They perceived you to be a certain way. You know, when someone's chill all the time, nobody really expects you to elevate your tone. I heard elevate your tone. They didn't expect you to elevate your tone. They thought that you were always monotone. But that only happens when someone pulls you there. And I feel like you felt yourself going there in that direction of energy fluctuation. When you're trying to keep it cool, but you fluctuating. It's like, ooh, it's like you get mad real quick, but then you gotta tone it down. I feel like this person had your energy fluctuating. And maybe you didn't realize it at first, but then once you did, you were like, wait. I see what you're doing. Sometimes you don't catch it until you caught up, because people who are good at pulling people out of their own character, they just try stuff to see what's going to get on your nerves. They just try things, like just throwing stuff, just pushing buttons, just throwing stuff out into the open for you to catch it. And then as soon as you catch it, it's like they're waiting intensely for your response, hoping that they did a thing. Hoping that they did a thing. I heard the worst thing you could do to a person like that is check them real quick and walk away. Because they're trying to use their... Is that the right word? I heard tenacious. Hold on. A tenacious person is someone who is determined and doesn't give up easily. Yeah, that's the right word. So they were trying to use their tenacity against you. You know, it's beautiful to be tenacious when it comes to something that you are trying to accomplish for oneself. And you're tenacious because you have a plan, you have a goal, you have things that you're working on and things that you want to do. And so you have this tenacity and you're like, I'm going to get this done no matter what is going to happen. You know, maybe there'll be some impediments, roadblocks, stoppers, something that's going to affect me from moving forward, but that means I'm just going to switch up my style in that moment. You know, I'm just going to switch up my style. And then once I do that, then I create another path for myself, right? That's one way, and I feel like that's a healthy way to be tenacious. But this person is using their tenacious capabilities to attack you. And boy, did you give it to them, because they saw the beast pop out. The beast said, hello, you was looking for me? Then it was like, oh, why did you say that to me? That's when they get surprised, like, you're so mean. You over here attacking me, now I'm mean? Get real. Get real. Because you're being fake. Because you're being fake. See, this is how you have to approach those types of people. You know, because you know what they're doing and they think you don't, which I feel like is so sweet. It's like bittersweet. Because you know what they're doing. Like, why are you doing that? Especially on such a low level. Like, you down in the damn murky waters in the swamp with what the things called? I want to say tadpoles. Tadpoles? It's something else though. Un momento. Yes, something else. It's very close to my thoughts. Wait. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. It's before the tadpole stage. No. There's a name of something that I'm looking for and I can't think of what it is. Oh, ew. I think I'm thinking of larva. So it's not the frogs. Hold on. The active immature form of an insect, especially one that differs greatly from the adult and forms the stage between egg and pupa. What's a pupa? Caterpillar or grub. What is a pupa? Wait, let me see this. Larva is a term for the early stage of an animal's life when it hatches from an egg and is very different from its adult form. So they try to pull you back down into being an embryo, not knowing anything. Not knowing much of anything. It's like the earlier stages of life. When you're a child, you could easily get pulled into things because you don't know any better. And it's like these people try to pull you back into time for the worst reasons. And they'll trigger certain points within you. Don't let them know too much about you either. These people like this are ruthless and not in not a healthy way. Because I feel like you could be ruthless in a positive way as well. Which may sound crazy to some of you, but that's a whole nother episode. But many of you probably know what I mean by that, but this person is ruthless because this is how they This is how they find their comfort in life, by doing this to people. So they try to draw out the worst in you on purpose to make you fall. Because the worst in you is the weak parts of you. Like, you know, the weaker parts of you. Not saying you're weak, but we all have weaknesses that we have to learn to strengthen. And this person's agenda is always in such a space. It's not trying to test someone to get to know them by just asking them questions. Not, you know, because I feel like we all, maybe we don't look at it like a test, but it's really for people with a pure heart. When they do a thing and they approach a person in a certain way, and they have a certain strategy to get to know the real you, I think it could be looked at as a test, but sometimes it's just you getting to know a person for who they are. And it's not really like, I feel like I don't like to say test when it comes to people that you communicate with. I feel like it's more so of getting to know the person. But when you have people that are genuinely like testing you to see if they can get a rise out of you, it's like a game to certain people. But when you're doing it from a place of you really wanting to get to know a person for who they are, and you're trying to check because you really want to know, because you might want to do something with this person. Like, you might want to, maybe you're looking at this person like a potential mate, spouse, business partner, you know, friend, whatever, or all three. I don't know. You know, so there are certain things that you want to understand about them so that you know if it could be a possible well-functioning relationship. But for someone like this, their reasoning for what they do has nothing to do with growth. It's all about stagnancy and this false sense of control. That's what I'm getting. It's like a very false sense of control, because they feel like if they can get over on a person, then that makes them powerful. That is so whack. That's so weak. It's funny how people that are like the weakest think they're so strong. They do the most low, nonsensical behavior they take part in on a regular basis. And someone like you look at them and then you realize that I heard they don't even deserve to try to even test you. Like they're not even on your level to be testing you like that. You know, they're not even on your level to test you like that, and they're trying to test you. So you check them. Checkmate. A lot of times you don't even want to have to do that to a person, because it's nice when people just know, but it doesn't always go that way. And I'm also hearing that you might have been the first person to do it, because a lot of times with people like this, people are intimidated by them, and they're afraid to say something. But little do you know, you're the one that made the most impact in their life, even though they would never want to admit it, you know. But you're the one who makes the most impact when you actually call out a person. You're the one who actually gives them a new set of eyes. Because if you know that your intentions are good, and the way that you respond to a person that tried to attack you gives them insight into themselves, because many people that just attack, they don't even know why they're doing it. They're being used by low frequency energy. They're mindless, and they really don't know any better. They're still in like the beginning stages of their growth. spiritual and mental, psychological, it's like in the mind. So you saying something to them could actually trigger something within them to make them look at themselves and to force them to look at certain aspects of themselves that they have ignored or that they just felt comfortable in, because sometimes people just feel comfortable being a certain way and handling themselves a certain way to where they don't see a reason to change because they feel comfortable there. People need to start feeling more uncomfortable. That's the only way you grow. If you're comfortable all the time, you are not growing. Because growth creates discomfort because it's new and you have to learn things. And that could be a little uncomfortable because you have to sort through your thoughts and like reorganize what you know to make room for the new information. And then it's like you assimilate what you already know with what you're learning. And that's how it stays within you. That's how you keep it. It's like threading. That's threading as well. Like you're sewing in the new knowledge into your mind. And once you do that, it can never be taken away from you. It becomes a part of you intrinsically. It's like a part of you. This person calls themselves strong. But they're not growing. The only way that you really show your strength, not only to others, that's not the point, but to yourself, is when you're actually growing. When you're doing something different than you were 3 years ago. Like when you do it in like years and you see the difference, even in your mindset, with how you think about certain things, and you're like, wow, I changed because I don't think like that anymore, and then when you realize that because you went through something, you can actually give advice on a certain topic just because you know it so well. That's another way that you know when you know. So anytime if you're questioning yourself about what you know, if you could teach it, or even sometimes the word teacher can be intimidating to some people, but if you could tell it, let's just say tell, because certain words are intimidating sometimes if you don't see yourself that way. But telling is the same thing. It's like telling a story. You're just telling. And then whoever listens, they can do what they want with it. They're either going to use it or they're not. And that's just that. Don't have to think too hard about it, because then that just makes it confusing when it doesn't have to be. Let's simplify everything to make everyone's life easier and to force the confusion to dissipate. Just force it to dissipate, because at that point, that's growth. That is change. That is elevation. And that is the willingness to not give up on oneself. Okay, my love, so keep speaking up when you know it's right. When you get that little inkling inside of you that's like, oh no, this is something I need to respond to. Because you don't have to respond to everything. You pick and choose, you discern that. But there are these points when you do need to respond. So learn what times that could be for you. Tell me in the comments, when do you feel you need to respond to a person that is testing you unethically? Because you know they don't mean well, and you know what they're doing. You know that they're being malicious. It's one thing if they're trying to strengthen you. That's love. When someone is asking you difficult questions and you have to try your best to answer them, I feel like that's love. I feel like that's growth. I feel like that is I heard patience. Someone who really cares about what you have to say is willing to sit and wait to hear what you come up with in silence. They'll listen. And that's love. That's respect and love and appreciation for one's understanding, regardless of if they agree or not. But it's just I can hear you. I'm acknowledging what you're saying, and I am going to participate. I feel like that's love. Because when people just watch and listen to see what they could take, but not listen to see like what they could give all the time, that's a leech. That's just a leech. No leech is allowed. But they still want to see. You so good to look at. What else are they supposed to look at? Something that don't look good? No, they want to look at what look good. Regardless of if they don't like you or not. So yeah, keep up the great work on yourself. And recognize when someone is trying to sharpen you to make you better, or trying to decode you to steal from you, or trying to like cause you to be considered a downgrade from your past. Okay? Everything you do, do it with love. I am Mystic Alchemy for those who don't know me. Always remember the creator is in you and the magic is too, because you're magic. Much love to you. I'll see you in the next video.